Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, if you have been watching this town as long as I have, you know that the corporate world in our beloved city is never just about money or contracts. It is always about family, deep loyalty, and sometimes a whole lot of heartbreak. Right now, my heart just aches for Lucy Coe. Bless her heart, she has poured every ounce of her soul into deception. That company is like a child to her, and seeing it slip through her fingers has been nothing short of devastating to witness. But Lucy is not a woman who just rolls over and gives up when the going gets tough. Oh no, she has called in the cavalry, and that cavalry goes by the name of Serena Baldwin. When I heard Serena was coming back to town to help Lucy reclaim her rights, I just knew we were in for a wild ride. Serena has that fiery, stubborn Baldwin blood running through her veins, and she is not about to let anyone walk all over her or the people she cares about. The moment Serena steps foot into that chaotic boardroom, you can feel the energy shift entirely. She is like a fierce mama bear protecting her cub, and she is ready to play hardball. But what makes this whole situation so incredibly fascinating is who she ends up going toe-to-toe with. None other than Michael Corinthos. Now, Michael is a young man who has been through the ringer more times than we can count. He has built up these thick, heavy walls around his heart and his business, trying to prove he is strong enough to handle the massive Quartermain and Corinthos legacies. When Serena and Michael first crossed paths over this deception mess, the tension is so thick you could cut it with a butter knife. They are both so stubborn, so fiercely protective of their own interests, and watching them clash is like watching a dark thunderstorm roll in over the harbor. But Serena is not just throwing her weight around in the boardroom. She is digging deep into the shadows. Like a dog with a bone, she starts sniffing around the past, looking for any kind of leverage she can use to help Lucy reclaim what is rightfully hers. And sweet heavens, what she uncovers is enough to make your blood run cold. Do you remember that awful, terrifying penthouse fire? The one that left poor Michael with those terrible burns and physical scars? I remember crying my eyes out watching him suffer through that agonizing pain all those years ago. It was a tragedy that left a dark, heavy cloud over his life. Well, Serena manages to dig up the absolute truth about who really started that fire. She uncovers the hidden identity of the person who caused Michael so much physical and emotional agony. This is not just a corporate secret anymore. This is a deeply personal, life-shattering revelation that changes everything. When Serena brings this heavy information to Michael, it completely shifts the dynamic between them. I can only imagine the look of pure shock and absolute devastation on his face when he finally learns the truth about the fire. For years, he has carried the weight of those burns, wondering, hurting, and trying to heal his broken spirit. Serena stepping in and handing him the missing pieces to his own painful puzzle is a moment of profound vulnerability. She does not use this terrible secret to hurt him or blackmail him. Instead, it becomes this strange, unexpected bridge of trust between them. The fierce corporate warrior softens, and Michael sees a woman who has gone out of her way to bring him the closure he so desperately needed. It is a beautiful, heartbreaking moment that completely shifts the ground beneath their feet and binds them together in a way nobody could have predicted. But the shocking truths do not stop there, my friends. Lord have mercy. Serena's digging unearths another massive secret, and this one hits entirely too close to home for Michael. She discovers a trail of highly unusual and frankly very questionable financial transactions made by none other than Willow. Now, we all know Willow has always tried to present herself as the moral compass, the sweet and innocent wife who does no wrong. But it turns out she has been making some incredibly risky, underhanded deals in a desperate attempt to help Michael gain some major advantages in his business battles. While her intentions might have been rooted in trying to support her husband, the way she went about it was entirely wrong, and it puts Michael in a terrible, compromising position. When Serena lays this financial evidence out for Michael, it is like a physical blow to his chest. He realizes that the woman he shares his life with has been operating behind his back, engaging in the exact kind of shady, dangerous dealings he has fought so hard to distance himself from. It completely shatters the illusion of perfection in his marriage. You can just feel the deep disappointment radiating from him. Willow's actions, meant to secure his power, have instead completely fractured his trust in her. Serena exposing this does not just give Lucy an upper hand in the deception battle, it fundamentally breaks the foundation of Michael and Willow's relationship. It is so incredibly sad to see a marriage crumble like that, but the truth always has a way of coming into the light, no matter how hard you try to sweep it under the rug. And this, my dear friends, is where the story takes a turn that I absolutely did not see coming in a million years. With his marriage falling apart and his heart heavy with the painful truth about the fire, Michael finds himself drawn to the very woman who turned his world upside down. The fiery, combative tension between Michael and Serena suddenly morphs into a deep, undeniable, romantic spark. It is the classic, beautiful tale of enemies turning into something so much more. They find a strange, quiet comfort in each other. Serena, with her blunt honesty and fierce loyalty, is the exact opposite of the secrets and lies he has been dealing with at home. It is a shocking romance, one that is sure to set the whole town of Port Charles completely on edge. I must admit, as surprised as I am, there is something incredibly captivating about seeing these two strong-willed souls find solace in one another. Their connection grows deeper and stronger with every passing day. It is not just a fleeting moment of passion. It is a profound emotional bond forged in the fires of shared secrets and newfound trust. Michael, who has always tried to be the stoic protector for everyone else, finally has someone who is willing to fight fiercely for him. Serena looks at him and sees the man behind the Corinthos name, the man who survived the fire and the bitter betrayals. And Michael sees a woman who is completely unafraid of the dark corners of his life. This blooming romance is a beautiful, albeit complicated, silver lining in the midst of all the corporate chaos. But of course, in a town like ours, happiness is never simple, and a new love story always comes with its own set of dangerous complications. Now, we simply cannot talk about Michael's love life without bringing up Jacinda Bracken. Bless her heart, Jacinda really thought she had it all figured out. For weeks, she has been hovering around Michael, whispering in his ear, and actively trying to push Willow out of his orbit. She had this grand, manipulative plan to become the most important woman in his life, crossing lines and overstepping boundaries that Michael was already starting to deeply disapprove of. Jacinda was playing a very dangerous game of emotional manipulation, thinking she could control a man who has the blood of a mob boss and a corporate titan running through his veins. But she completely underestimated the situation, and she certainly never saw a force of nature like Serena Baldwin coming her way to ruin all her plans. The arrival of Serena and her sudden intense romance with Michael is the absolute final nail in the coffin for Jacinda. It is the definitive end of the road for her little schemes. Michael, whose eyes have been opened wide by Serena's brutal honesty, finally sees Jacinda for exactly what she is, a manipulative opportunist who only cares about herself. He cuts ties with her completely, leaving Jacinda out in the cold with absolutely nothing to show for all her plotting. It is a harsh reality check for her, but honestly, I cannot say I feel too sorry for her. When you play with fire and try to ruin people's lives for your own selfish gain, you are bound to get burned eventually. Jacinda's exit from Michael's inner circle is swift and definitive, proving that he is finally taking control of his own destiny and cleaning house. But as much as I am rooting for Michael to find some peace and happiness, I am growing deeply, deeply concerned about Serena. What started as a noble, loyal mission to help Lucy reclaim her rights at deception has slowly morphed into something much darker and far more intense. Serena is becoming completely obsessed. Her protective instincts over Michael, combined with her ruthless desire to win the corporate war, are pushing her to take extreme, highly dangerous measures. She is no longer just playing hardball in the boardroom. She is crossing ethical lines, destroying reputations, and leaving a trail of absolute devastation in her wake. It is like she cannot stop herself. The intoxicating power, the heavy secrets, and her new relationship with Michael have created a perfect storm, and Serena is standing right in the eye of it, refusing to back down. As I sit here and reflect on all these shocking twists and turns, I am just completely overwhelmed by the sheer emotion of it all. To think that a battle over a cosmetics company could lead to the unearthing of the heartbreaking truth behind that tragic penthouse fire, the exposure of Willow's desperate financial transactions, and the birth of a scandalous new romance between Michael and Serena is just mind-boggling. It goes to show that in Port Charles, the past is never truly buried, and love can bloom in the most unexpected and chaotic of places. We are watching history being rewritten right before our very eyes, and I am hanging on to every single moment of it, praying that Michael finally finds the happiness he deserves without losing everything else in the process.